Hello, and welcome to the Rocky Hill Chamber of Commerce program, Rocky Hill Experience. My name is Jerry Luzak. My wife, Teresa, and I own and operate GT Luzak Insurance and Investment. We are members of the Rocky Hill Chamber of Commerce, and I am a member of the board. The Rocky Hill Experience will feature Rocky Hill businesses providing you with their expertise. Today, at this segment, we have Chris Stiles from Photography Styles. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
How you doing, Jerry?
So just a couple of questions that we'd like to ask you here. First of all, how long have you been taking pictures and doing this?
So back in 2012, I used to travel for work, and I was with a friend of mine who also was taking pictures, and I kind of traveled along with him just on our job, and I started getting interested into what he was doing. And so eventually I just picked up my first pro camera and started taking it with me everywhere I went. So I kind of did a little bit of everything, a little bit of the, we have a cat pictures, start there easy.
Oh yeah.
Go through some scenic stuff outside. I took it with me on my travels. And then I started taking pictures of people, and it wasn't until I saw pictures that I had taken of a family hanging up in their house, some close friends of ours, that it kind of got the bug real quick that I was like, I think I'm going to go a little bit further with people, doing portraits and such. So. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
What do you like to do? I mean, a lot of photographers have little niches. So what is your...
Yep, so we focus primarily on wedding photography and portrait photography.
Oh, okay. All right.
So anything from families and headshots to senior portraits, things like that.
So there's some photography terminology that I've heard of. And so what is the golden hour?
Yep.
What is that?
So the golden hour is the time, usually about half an hour before sunset or half an hour before sunrise, and it's really one of the best times specifically to get portraits if you're going to be outside taking pictures. And the little science background here, why it's important, because the sun is just coming up and the sunlight has to go through the atmosphere. So it's directional sunlight, and it has to go through so much atmosphere that the light gets scattered, and by the time it hits you, it's really, really soft. Shadows are soft. It's not coming straight from above, overhead during the day where you're going to have sharp shadows under your eyes. Everything's really flattering looking. So whether you're looking at the sun, I can position you behind the sun. It really doesn't matter. You can get really good photography during those time periods.
So somebody would want you try to get an outdoor photography session during those times, probably, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. So when we do a lot of our engagement sessions with our couples that are getting married, I always usually recommend we start about an hour and 15 minutes before sunset. That way we have enough time to get to know each other, we can do some shots, and then usually those last 20 minutes we're hitting right at that perfect time.
Cool. So you mentioned engagement couples. When you start out with an engagement couples, what do you recommend that they bring or know when they're coming to see a photographer? What do you work with?
So it depends. Usually the things that I'll tell them ahead of time are if they're going to be bringing pets. A good piece of advice would be, if you have a friend or somebody that can watch the dog specifically, it's definitely helpful, but it's not necessary. We definitely work around it. I'm a pet person myself. I grew up with a dog. We have a cat.
So bring Fido's friend with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So some of the other things that you can do too are bring props and such to kind of spice up the session. So, and a good example would be wintertime. The color's really dreary outside. Trees that have lost all their leaves. Everything's really brown. So what we'll do is we'll bring things like, it could be lights, literally like string lights, and we can wrap them around the couple, or it can be a bottle of champagne, just something that essentially gives more attention to the picture.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And what do you recommend for a portrait, for headshots or something for businesses? Is there anything that you'd recommend for that?
Really, you just have to bring yourself and just come relaxed. We kind of go from there at that point. Bring clothes that you're comfortable in, clothes that speak to you, kind of what separates you from somebody else. Other than that, as far as businessy corporate headshots, it's pretty much you just have to bring yourself. I have all the gear and everything that we need at that point.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much. This is, again, Jerry Luzak, the Rocky Hill Chamber of Commerce. And we'd like to thank Chris for coming here. And please join us again with the Rocky Hill Experience. segment, we're featuring Steve Nardiello from your CBD store.
Yes, thank you,
Did I
Jerry.
get that right?
Yes, you did.
Oh, cool. I'm Polish, Italian names, but
Very similar.
exactly. So tell us a little bit about your location.
So the Rocky Hill Your CBD store really takes a lot of pride in education and experience. The first and foremost, we make sure all our customers are getting a free education on exactly what high-quality CBD products could do for them and how it interacts with their body. And we do a lot of hosting events and charities on a regular basis. We have protectors of animals and a lot of yoga events, things like that with wellness.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I heard that you're thinking about opening up a second location.
Yes, I'm currently in negotiations for my second location, which will be in Middletown on South Main Street next to the Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm very excited about the journey. Cool.
That's excellent that you're able to expand. And I'm my language is with the endocannabinoid system. Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. So the endocannabinoid system was actually discovered in the 90s, and what it does, it produces something called endocannabinoids. And those endocannabinoids, one of them is called the ondamine, which is the layman's term, the bliss molecule, is kind of responsible for regulating your sleep, curbing anxiety, and usually dealing with inflammation. Through time, life, trauma, and sometimes just in general, you stop producing enough of them. And we find out, why is there a CBD boom? Because when you're getting it from a quality source that's safe and third-party tested, and you're supplementing on a regular basis, you find yourself start bringing your ECS back into homeostasis, and that's where people get the best results.
So what kind of ailment or why would I come into the CBD store, to your CBD store, and use the product? What would drive me there? What were the reasons?
So this is a very sensitive industry with the FDA. We're pushing them to do regulations. So when it comes to certain type of ailments, we don't really make any claims or use words like treats, cures, or prevents, because it's just not something that we as a company, being the largest franchise in the world right now, we don't get involved in. As far as I've had customers who come in who use it for a arrangement of many things when it comes to arthritis and dealing with anxieties and stuff like that. That's what they have said they've got the best results for.
And what kind of products are typical in your store?
Well, we actually have a lot of award-winning products, matter of fact. So we won at the CBD Expo this past year, we won an award for the best topical cream, and that's something that has like MSM, it's coconut oil based, and has a little arnica in there that people kind of use locally when needed.
So on your shoulder, if you have shoulder problems, is that an idea?
Shoulder, neck, I used it with my meniscus because I had a meniscus tear for a little bit. For me personally, another one of our great products, we won a Beauty Line Award for a collagen cream. But tinctures, we have water soluble, water capsules. We actually have a great pet line as well.
Really?
Yes.
For dogs, pets, for cats, how about birds?
No.
To calm them down, no?
Believe it or not, all mammals have that endocannabinoid system.
Oh, okay.
Dogs, cats, me, you, fish, all of them actually have that system with those types of endocannabinoids.
That's interesting. That's
Yes,
very
sir.
interesting. The question that has come up is, let's say somebody works in the machine shop,
Yes, sir.
and they're required to have drug testing.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is the results? What is the advice? How does this handle it?
So from a corporate standpoint, we can't guarantee you don't get a false positive. But a little bit of my own personal experience, my father's actually, he's a machinist. He has been for 40 years. He takes a part of our full spectrum line, which has 0.03% THC. My mother works at Concentra, and we did drug test them and we came back negative. So I haven't had any customers have any problems like that, but we carry a broad spectrum line that does not have any THC in it at all.
I see. So just take it as recommended.
Correct.
And go with the flow.
Yes.
Isn't that how it goes? That would be pretty good. Well, today we had Steve here from your CBD store, and we're hoping that you would come and see Steve. What is the address for your CBD?
It's 2350 Main Street, Rocky Hill, formerly St. Rita's Bakery.
St. Rita's Bakery. So instead of getting bakery products, you can get your CBD. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you coming.
Thank you very much, Chair.